Well, good morning out there. In there, out there. From in here. Vivi's nose. Me, in here, out here. Sun's coming up over my left shoulder. Oh boy, there's that nose. Rub the nose for good luck. Where are we going to be next week, huh? We're going to have a sit here in a democracy, or spend the next few years lied to and be run by money that we don't have, and people who need it won't have, and old people won't have, and people sick won't have. Which is it going to be? Care about each other or not? Kind of simple as that. That's my politics. Care about each other or not. Campaign slogan. Oh, what am I chuckling about? Good morning, Mark. Kristen. Marianna, our dear friend Marianna, is going to be learning to breathe again. They're going to move her out of the ICU pretty soon into a place that, can you imagine, teaches her to breathe. And then after months, slowly start working on other things. So any of you who can get on her care pages, Marianna Maver, especially those of us who know her, cards, notes, messages, phones, you can leave a voicemail, and her care pages. And Marianna's, of course, we love you. Tudor Dixon or Gretchen Whitmer. Lied to or cared about. There's another slogan. Oh. Why do I do that laugh? World Series is on, tied up. Halloween, we didn't have any trick-or-treaters. So I dressed up as a man in a fog and knocked on the door. And Julie dressed up as, let's think, my queen. I'm wearing my wooden boat shirt this morning because we used to go to Maine every year, and Brooklyn, Maine, out in the island, Deer Isle, we would stay in Stonington, and the next town over was Brooklyn and the wooden boat school. Loved going to that. And except for one thing, I can't do anything. Boy, that's real self-pity, but it's not self-pity. It's, as a kid, I didn't know I couldn't do anything. And then as I grew up, I thought, I want to do this, and I couldn't. And I'd look at those people making those wooden boats. Boy, I wanted to be able to make stuff, do that. Carpentry, something. No, can't do it. Boy, I wish okay, anyway. We watched two wonderful old movies. We watched The Odd Couple, and it is just worth watching it to watch Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. What faces? I mean, there's never going to be another Walter Matthau face, ever. I mean, that Basset Hound is just astonishing. It's just, anything he just, hear that from Pittsburgh? Not just. Just watching him. That's it. It doesn't matter what's going on in his, the story or anything. Holy cow. Every moment. And then we watched Arsenic and Old Lace, which was going down memory lane because I played Mortimer Brewster in high school. There's a body in the window seat. Arsenic and Old Lace. And I was trying to remember who played all the other parts. Joe Shields, Jim O'Brien, Andy Burry. Anyway, wow. That was our Halloween, Arsenic and Old Lace. And I had a visit from Karen, who taught for years in the Rudolf Steiner Waldorf school program in Ann Arbor. That means there's a whole lot of complexity to it, but she basically taught students from grades 1 through grades 8. And you didn't have to pass, in that sense. There were no grades, and you just helped each student move along. So this student might be at 4th grade, this student might be in 6th grade, but they were all in the same grade. But you were working with them at their different levels in reading, writing, and arithmetic. Oh, that's a reductionist statement, isn't it? Oh, last night I had a wonderful time. I have to tell you, because the Art Association Club, whatever it's called, in Saugatuck, they did those Topo Gigio, what are they called? Pechacucha. So you have about 10 minutes and there's a slideshow and you talk in relation to your slideshow. And they had 7 of them, and I had to leave after 4 for another reason, but Kathleen Marklands was wonderful. She has a collection of 400 and some. In the old days they had playing cards without just designs on the back, but different things. Dolls, kings, queens, hunters, people, cats, and it's fascinating. And she has this whole program set up. It was beautiful. And of course, Kathleen, what I don't know if anybody noticed is that what she wrote was so beautiful to accompany it wasn't just, this is a picture of or something. She had this beautiful story. And she's such a fine writer. And I got to sit next to Linda Shavat, and she has, ready, if you don't know, a rhododendron farm for years. Rhododendrons. Her whole life, rhododendrons. And her dear dogs, and her wonderful soul. So I was just so lucky to get to sit beside Linda, and we enjoyed it so much together. I think I mentioned there are care pages for Marianna Maver. You can go online and get those. In February, there's a book coming out from Wayne State Press by Maureen Dunphy that my hunch is, I did a blurb, okay, but the thing is, I loved the book. It was beautiful. It's called Divining, A Memoir in Trees. Isn't that something? A memoir. And so trees. And Maureen Dunphy. Boy, is she a lovely soul. And then, after the program over at the library last night, I zipped home and got to be on a Zoom program with this group of writers. Wow. Ooh, blew me away, from Cincinnati. They had spent 6 weeks, ready for this? I'm not talking about Pat and this guy. 6 weeks reading and talking about practicing to walk like a heron, this book that I put together. Critically wonderful. I don't know about this one. But the intelligence and the warmth. 2 of the people were poet laureates of Cincinnati. They all had PhDs, they all had MFAs, and you know what else they had? Warmest hearts in the world. Warmest hearts. I know I don't want to go over time, but thank you, Dick Westheimer, for putting that together. Somebody spent 6 weeks on your book, talking about it. I can't imagine. I mean, humbling and joy, I don't know, honor, what is that? It's just remarkable. And commentary was, I just loved listening to them. And funny and so intelligent. And sitting in settings surrounded by books. One guy was in bed. That was great. Well, next week at this time, democracy or not? Caring or not caring? Vote. Have I covered it all? Vivi, have I covered it all? What do you think? Huh? We're all right? Okay, buddy. We had a good walk. That always makes makes us glad and happy, huh? Little kindnesses, that's what matters. Yeah, we either do them or we don't. We either do them or we don't. Okay, I think that's my little list of things that are unimportant on the sentimentalist. Oh, and the people, the poet laureates championed my sentimentality. And I looked it up again, and all it says is, who says what's an excessive use of excessive emotion? Okay? You know what I think is? No feeling. Being cool. I'd call that an excessive feeling. The most difficult students to help were the ones who were cool. Their poems were just flat. And the people also said, not only do we believe in sentimentality, we believe in nostalgia. And we know that nostalgia means only thinking about the good in the past. So what? Who's hurt? Who's hurt? Let's think about sled riding when we were kids. Yeah, but don't you know that at the same time there was a war in Korea? Yeah, I do. Okay, that's enough. No grumbling. Here's our poem for today. If I can get untangled here. Oh, I'm holding up Terry Blackcock's book. Mau Me, Terry Blackcock. It's about her husband, late husband. Beautiful writer. The Two Chairs in the Garden. The obligatory nap has disappeared into the light that falls after 4 p.m. It is time for the sweet blue of cornflower, the muted palette of mums. This is something I love, the season between seasons. I feel at home within this turning, summer's heat dwindling into the mellow nowhere of 65 degrees. Cold coming. This space with no particular demand, no order to cultivate or repair, no wood to bring in, no seed to plant, no need to hope. Just here, in a safe hint of later. Cool inhale, the gentle clatter of acorns on the porch roof, the chattering argument of squirrels. There's a certain stillness in this small world, the light lying across each unshaded petal, rock, branch, the faded paint flaking like haiku from the two chairs in the garden. One of the poet laureates said it's a poem of sanctuary, and it was her favorite poem in the book. And you know what happened this morning on our walk? I got hit on the head by an acorn. Take care. Be kind. Try to be cheerful. Vote, hope, or wish.